What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the decidedly debonair Dr. Disaster. And when someone tries to tell you who they are and what they believe in, the most prudent thing to do is believe them. When someone explicitly says they want people who look like you to stop existing, you would be wise to avoid anything they're trying to sell and to say, "Get the f*** out of here!" The subject of this video, the game GiantLands, created by the company Wonderfilled, is literally advocating for a future where white people and the United States of America no longer exist. And when I say this, I'm not recreating this hyperbolic nonsense where LGBT people get upset that you don't want pride flags waving around in your video games, and they start whining about how this must mean that you want them erased. No, these people who created GiantLands are explicitly saying that a world without white people is a desirable outcome.
Your ideas are stupid.
Naturally, people called them out for this nonsense because that is what it is, absolute nonsense, and in response to the backlash, this absolute tool that I have playing in the background, who founded the company Wonderfilled, this jackass starts going on a rant about white people and how he doesn't want to sell his game to anyone who disagrees with him politically, and then he's forced to admit this here.
My business has been in ruins for, 2 years now. I don't think I've sold a game.
Oh, poor baby.
Imagine that. The dude has to admit that Wonderfilled is in total shambles and is dying, even though they have essentially co-opted the brand of TSR, or Tactical Studies Rules, the company which originally created Dungeons and Dragons before selling off to Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. Their game, GiantLands, even has James Ward, one of the veterans of the original D&D team, listed as a co-creator. Even with those advantages, they can't sell a damn thing, because it turns out that nobody wants this garbage. We see shit-lib crap like this in any game, and gamers, whether it's a video game or tabletop like this one, most of us gamers will say,
"No, let's not do this."
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, and I've begun uploading some content over onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that site too. But let's talk about Wonderfilled and the very stupid shit that they said about white people and the USA. This post on X here is what got the party started. I think the moron who runs their social media account thought they were going to get universal praise for this jackassery, but apparently they forgot that this wasn't blue sky that they were posting to, and people are allowed to actually have opposing views on X. But anyway, the post says, "In fact, we worked a lot with Larry Elmore, Steve Once, and Jeff D to make the art for GiantLands more representative and inclusive. The premise? What if, in the future, there were no white people? James Ward loved it too. Yeah, you can see how these D-bags are really trying to use his name to sell the product. But anyway, they continued. Larry always tried to sneak in people of color into his TSR art, though he was often denied his attempts to make D&D less white. So we decolonized the RPG and made a future where the USA and white people don't exist." Now, can you imagine what these same people would say if the roles were reversed? If someone was calling for the erasure of literally any other race of people, can you imagine what they'd be saying? Can you imagine if someone made a game where only white people and the USA was allowed to be? they would be calling the authorities. They'd be calling this a threat. And look, I'm just gonna say this. These idiots are allowed to make this game. They can make whatever the hell they want, but we sure as hell don't have to buy it. And it turns out that nobody is. But anyhow, this post that I showed you naturally got a lot of backlash. This person here quoted the post and offered some pretty tame criticism, saying, apparently, in the interest of being more representative and inclusive, the GiantLands RPG gleefully embraces the premise of a future with no white people. And then the Wonderfilled account replied, as you can see here, crashing out and saying, Trumpsy losers like this is what killed our business. They live in some off-white fantasy of reality. We won't serve them or theirs. They are not welcome at our tables. They bought the books and didn't realize the premise is that they and their kind are finally gone from this earth, so help us God. So wait a second, how could Trump people kill this business if they live in some alternate reality? If this business is killed, then isn't it because the majority of people don't want shit like this? I mean, do these lunatics never stop and ask themselves very simple questions like, for example, why aren't the people that you're trying to cater to buying your product? And the truth is that no, they are simply incapable of looking inward and thinking critically about their own views. They've been fed this narrative that they are the good guys and that anyone who disagrees with them about anything are the bad guys. They've been fed that for so long that they just can't process anything else. They cross lines that are absolutely ludicrous, and the more people call them out for it, the harder they dig their heels in and push into the narrative that their opposition are just horrible people. But as I showed you earlier, the founder of the company made a little video crashing out. He starts off by talking about how evil and scary Donald Trump is, and then he says,
I don't think a lot of these bigots that thought GiantLands and Wonderfilled were for them, when in fact isn't. I was trying to create something different because as a person that was always a different color and a sort of a different mentality than all those around me, I wanted to make something different. I wanted to make the kind of game I always wanted as a kid, where people like me were seen. And I didn't see a lot of myself in the original TSR stuff or even a lot of role-playing game supplements. What I did see was a lot of white boy fantasy. Let's face it, I don't have problems with it. I have some white boy in me too. Some people might say it's a majority of me. But I identify myself as an American from a melting pot. And I always loved having many cultures in my life, studying many religions, having friends of many faiths, colors, shapes, sizes, origins, nations, creeds. And what's happening now is exactly the opposite. It's unpatriotic and un-American. As you can see, it makes me sort of upset. This is a dry run. I didn't write this, but I thought it was a good idea to try to set things straight. My business has been in ruins for, 2 years now. I don't think I've sold a game. And that's all right. I don't want to sell to these people.
We have an accord.
Well, there you go. He's comfortable not selling his dog water product, and I personally am quite comfortable not buying it. This is what happens when you build up opposing views as some kind of an ultimate evil. This game was marketed online though, and white people are a global minority. So where is the target demographic? Why didn't the modern audience swoop in and buy this game? But I'm going to leave it there. Can you answer that question? Why did the target demographic for this game not show up? Why is this dude's business in shambles? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.